Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I hope everybody is safe and healthy and everyone can enjoy another video on this channel. And title of this video probably will be how to diagnose bad wheel bearing. Yes, this is the large wheel bearing and I will be replacing it very soon on the 2005 Scion TC, which is behind me. Now, why you will even think that your wheel bearing is bad on your vehicle, right? That's a good question. What are the symptoms, right? So most likely, most common symptoms are that you will start hearing some kind of humming, like a woo, the extra noise in your vehicle. It will probably come slowly. Most of the time it's not very sudden that it will happen in few seconds. It just the car when it's driven start making this humming or voom voom as it described the last person who came here. Right, that's the kind of sound you hear. It could be the wheel bearing, but also it could be the tires, right? If tires are bad, they are out of the shape, out of the round, they could also create that loud humming. This Scion TC, which I bought from Copart, you know it, right on this channel, it's a salvage title and I'm fixing it up, has one bearing bad. But it also has a bad tires, so I cannot take you on the test drive and really record that sound with you. It will be completely misleading. There's also half of the interior missing in the back, so it's extremely loud. I cannot record that. So basically it's a humming sound, either tires out of the round or the wheel bearing. Let's go find out how we diagnose the bad wheel bearing. And I'm going to start with checking for the play. In theory, when the bearing goes bad, there should be some kind of play. In beginning it will be very small, and as it progresses there will be more and more play. For example, right, if you have year 2008, 2010 Tacoma 4-wheel drive, I saw interesting anomaly. Anytime somebody had this problem with the wheel bearing, it was in front on driver's side. You could almost bet on it, right? And people came with that gen of Tacoma and they talked to the service writer while he was lifting it up on the lift. They were suspecting wheel bearing. It was unbelievable. It was almost always this wheel on this side. So that's a little note for the Toyota Tacoma owners of that generation. But this Scion, I already found out which one is bad and it's not here. But that's all I will say in advance, right? So let's go and start checking for the play. How you check for the play? You grab the wheel and try to move it and feel if there is play. And some of you who are experts are already saying, hey dummy, that's not how you do it. If you grab it here, which is 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, you are only checking if your steering has the play, right? If I do this on the front where there is steering of the vehicle included, this is not checking for wheel bearing. So I have to grab it at 12 and 6 o'clock and try to feel if there will be any play or clicking. Absolutely nothing. Let's move on the other wheel. Driver's side, rear wheel. Now, since there's no steering involved here, right, I could theoretically grab it anywhere I want. Out of the routine, I will still continue 12 and 6. It's really windy outside. Sorry for that garage door making noise. But look at it. There's absolutely zero play. let's continue on the next one. Passenger side rear. As we discussed, I can rotate it, right? And keep checking. I can grab it where I want. And there is absolutely no play in this wheel. So this one is also good. Here we are on the passenger front, right? So again, here is steering involved. I cannot be grabbing this. Let's feel the steering. Oh, it's absolutely tight. Good news. This is salvage car. It was cheap, but there's no play in the steering. Excellent. So let's do that bearing. And my friend, I feel no play in it. It's not giving whatsoever. So what's going on right now? I checked all the 4 wheels, right? I made a claim that one of the bearings is bad, right? I have it even ready there on the table, and I will be replacing it in the next video. So which one is bad? Well, there's one more way we can check it to find out which one is the failed. So we are back on the driver front side, and I brought you way closer because I want you to listen. We want to hear that humming, which I mentioned in before, right? So I will spin it. We know there's no play, but let's listen for some kind of humming. And all you can hear is just brake pads. But the wheel bearing, it's absolutely quiet. Let's move on the other one. Driver side rear wheel. Let's listen for possible humming. And again, this is a brake pad, right? It was sitting for 5 days in the rain, so they make a little bit of that sound. I just drove it only 10 miles, but there's no humming from that wheel bearing. Passenger rear, the same try, right? There's no play. Let's listen. Barely any brake pad. Absolutely no humming. So let's try that front passenger side. Passenger front, I brought you close and listen for possible sound. So you hear that? Same scraping of the brake pad, but hopefully the camera perfectly shown, right? The microphone perfectly shown that humming. Do you hear how bad it is? And that is causing a lot of noise in the cabin when I drive it. And I will give you a great hint as a difference between the tires and the bearing. So let's say you started having that humming sound, right? It's slowly creeping on you and it's getting louder and louder every single day or week, right? Sometimes it goes really slowly. So most likely, if it's a bearing, and especially when it's on the front, when you will turn your vehicle, the weight of the car will be distributed on that wheel differently, right? And in the bearing, there are 2 sides of the balls or rollers, right? One of them, this is the failed one. One of them is running here, and one of them is running here. So if you distribute suddenly, if you don't go just straight and it's humming, but if you distribute the weight in the curves, that sounds will be changing quite a lot. If it's bad tire, which is just out of the round, right, it will keep humming approximately the same way. But if it's the wheel bearing, that sound under the turning should change. It will change a lot when it's on the front. It will change a little bit less or almost none when it's the rear wheel bearing. So here you got it, my friend. I made you expert on another topic about the cars, right? In our case, here on Toyota Maintenance, it's about the Toyotas. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you find it helpful, and make sure you subscribe. I have way more coming your way soon. Since it's coronavirus, right, I completely shut down this shop, so I will have time to film. That means I will film for you how to replace that front wheel bearing on 2005 Scion. Thanks for watching, and please be safe and be healthy. See you later.